Welcome to another episode of the Happy Clients podcast. Today we are interviewing the amazing Andréa Jones from Online Andréa. And Andréa came into our lives looking for help with training. And we, of course, love to train client account managers inside various different agencies. And Andréa jumped into CAM school and has been absolutely crushing it. And we love seeing her and her team's success right inside of Dot & Company. So in this episode, you are going to learn all about Andréa, her agency, and how she has set up her team for success. So I can't wait to have you guys listen into this episode. And of course, you can check Andréa out. We will drop her links in the show notes. All right, let's chat with Andréa.
Welcome to the Happy Clients podcast, brought to you by Dot & Company. Whether you're a virtual assistant, an agency owner, or a client-facing account manager, we all deal with clients. Lucky for you, client management is what we do best. Now, let's dig in, chat cam life, and have some fun along the way. Cheers to happy clients.
Welcome. We're excited. Thank you so much for coming on and just kind of chatting. We wanted to, of course, reach out and see, I want to hear all about your agency, but also kind of what's going on in your team. I know you have a team of account managers and now you're inside of our training program. So I wanted to just hear a little bit about how your team's structured and how you've grown your agency. Maybe if you could just do a little intro, that would be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. So I started the agency 7 years ago. And I started as a freelancer, actually did not call myself an agency until about 2 years ago, even though I just was like, I had an aversion to the agency word. But I started the business because I moved from the US to Canada. So part of that move was needing a type of work that was location independent. I was trying to get citizenship here in Canada. So it's the technicalities of working in the country were sticky. So that's what really launched my business. Prior to that, I was in hospitality. I was a manager at a spa and at Marriott, and being the youngest person on the team, got put in charge of social media at the time. So that's where I really learned my skills, was on the ground working for the corporate job that I had. And when I started freelancing, I worked with all sorts of people. I grew it to the agency, really narrowed into working with thought leaders and coaches. Specifically, we developed a model to be able to amplify their voices on social media. And now I have a team of 15 people. We have 4 account managers and then our support staff that does all of the things to run this amazing company.
Congratulations. That is impressive.
And to transition from a freelancer model to an agency model, I think that's huge. Going from just like, I'm going to do this myself, I just want to work from my laptop, to then being like, you know what, we've got something here. We're going to grow a team and do something cool. So that's super admirable.
Yeah.
Yes. And, the hardest part for me was, again, that I did not like the word agency. I said for the longest time, I didn't want an agency because I wanted to maintain, like, my personal relationships with my clients are very important to me. And I thought handing them off to someone else would be a negative thing for my business. My business name is my name, so it's onlineandrea.com. And so I felt like I personally needed to be involved in everything. And then I slowly, like, when I tried to go on my first vacation, was when things like fell apart. Social media never sleeps, by the way. So you always have to have eyeballs on it. So that's when I started hiring my team. And I used to just say, oh, I'm a freelancer and I just happen to have a team. And about like 7 team members into it, I was like, I feel like there's a different word for this because I'm not a freelancer. Yeah. In fact, I don't do most of the work. But anyways, it's been a journey for sure.
What was kind of the last straw where you're like, oh yeah, like I need more people. This beast is growing. Like what was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back, so they say?
Yeah, there were 2 things that happened really. And this was in 2018 when most of my languaging shifted from just me to like, there's a team behind this. And even though I wasn't even using the word agency until 2019, a lot of those shifts happened when one, I had two very big, like my pillar clients leave at the same time. And I was looking around at my resources, realizing that I wasn't charging enough to be able to support a team. I was still charging freelancer rates, though I had multiple people working on these projects, graphic designers, copywriters, all of those things. And then the second thing was a testimonial I got from a client who specifically called out a team member that they loved working with. And so it was at that moment where I realized like the power and the value is actually in the team building aspect of this. And my clients love my team and I need to charge more. So those were like the shifts for me.
Love it.
Yeah. And that's really cool too, to see that you are just in tune with like building this really awesome team that can rep for you. And then you have the confidence and the trust in them. Like it's all kind of going together, right? Like I'm sure that's just major. So when you do step away and take that vacation, that you just know your baby's in good hands.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. So tell us how your team is structured now. You have 4 account managers, but who else do you have on your team?
Yes. So I consider myself the lead strategist, though that's probably going to be a job opening in the future. I manage a lot of the high level strategy, staying on top of all of the changes and things. My account managers are part project managers, but part also implementers. So they do a lot of the day-to-day posting for our clients, that sort of thing. There's 4 of them, and they each have an assistant, which was a big change this year. One of my coaches said, if you have great team members, give them an assistant, and that will increase their work capacity, which has been wonderful. So 4 account managers and their assistants, and then we have the support staff. So we have our graphic designers, copywriters, video editors. We have admin assistant, who's kind of my assistant, helps me manage all of the things. And then we have a Facebook ads specialist as well, who helps with some of those projects.
Very cool. Big team.
That's a huge team.
Yeah. So who manages everyone? Is that still you, or do you have someone in an operations role?
Yeah, that's still me. So those are I think the next 2 moves for the agency is to have a strategist and to have an operations person. I actually tried to hire this like all-in-one role last year, and it didn't work out because I was really putting way too much on one person. But I do see that as the next role. I will say the account managers also take on a lot of the management responsibilities, especially the task management, the support staff, as well as their assistants as well.
Very cool.
Cool.
So when it comes to your account managers, obviously we are all about the account managers here at Dot. You reached out looking for help with maybe SOPs or training, but tell us what drew you to adding support to your team.
Yeah. So for my current account managers, a lot of them have been with me for a long time. So they've evolved with the business. And we didn't actually call them account managers until I listened to the podcast, trying to figure out like, what is this role that I'm trying to create? And that's what really helped me develop their role, their skill set for that. And with their skill set, they've been in a lot of the different positions. They've done graphic design, they've done copywriting, they know all of the details of social media management. So they're really social media managers who are now doing client-facing work. So they lead the client meetings, they facilitate the client conversations. And that's why I went to camp school, because a lot of them are introverted and a little bit shyer. And so it's developing the skill set of managing clients, because that was previously on me, like all 23 clients, managing all of their expectations.
Wow. You didn't start an agency to be busy 24/7. You started an agency for the freedom, but instead you're busy. You're wearing all of the hats, from agency owner and Facebook ads expert to client account manager and hiring manager. You're doing your best, but your agency isn't where you want it to be, running itself while you sip a Mai Tai on a white sand beach. Whatever the problem, there's one thing you know for sure. You need a proven solution, one that integrates tested systems and empowers your team to run and scale the business on autopilot. Hi, I'm Emma, a client account manager at Dot & Co. and your training manager inside the CAM School. Over at the CAM School, we get it. As former digital marketers, we gave up that agency hustle to zero in on what we do best. keeping clients happy. As the world's first and only dedicated team of client account managers for digital marketing agencies, we can help keep your clients happy too with the exact systems, training, and templates we use every day to support seven-figure agency owners as their remote client account managers. Are you ready to make your dream agency a reality? Enroll your team in Cam School for instant access to the exact systems and training we use to train our own superstar client account managers. Jump over to thecamschool.com and use the code HAPPYCLIENTS to get a special bonus valued at over $1,000 just for listening to this podcast. I'll see you in the Cam School.
Wow. Yeah.
It was way too much. I don't recommend it. But now that the account managers are managing that, they're able to communicate directly with the client and with the team and kind of facilitate the project, move things along, but also build the deeper relationship with the clients, which was the thing that I found so valuable and is so important to our company to this day.
And what sort of, I guess, improvements from that pivot, hiring those people? I'm sure clients loved having just more support, more relationship building, but were things like happening for your business, like retention and clients would stay on for twice as long? Or how did implementing that role affect your business?
Yeah. So we started this at the beginning of 2021. So it's still relatively new for us. And client retention has increased. I don't have data for this, but I just know that my we get leads now and they're on a wait list because we don't have the openings for it. We'll probably actually need to hire another account manager soon to be able to support the accounts, but retention has increased because the clients get a lot more support from the account managers. My time and kind of like the stress level of dealing with all of those clients on a day-to-day basis has decreased. So I'm able to focus on the higher level, bigger picture items. Like for instance, we added in TikTok management this year. So I was able to develop, what does that look like for us? And so that's where my time goes. And then clients just seem happier. I know this is not like a statistic that I could measure, but we're able to do so much more because we have the time to. So sending little things like anniversary gifts or birthday gifts or things like that now fall to the account managers. And it's something that they can easily do to surprise and delight our clients.
Oh, I love that.
I love that too. And that's really sweet, just from even like thinking about being on the other side of that. Like, I would love that, a little gift on my birthday or anniversary, or, hey, you're 3 months working with us. That's the special touch that I'm sure we know clients appreciate.
So inside of Cam School, how have you kind of structured your team when coming in to our training program? Do you have all of your team members inside of Cam School, or are you focused in there? How do you kind of structure that?
So we're going through the main program right now, and we're doing one module at a time. We have monthly strategy meetings anyways with all of the client account managers. So we'll share our thoughts collectively there. And then it's the office hours. So because they're new to this role, a lot of them, and new to managing clients, I really positioned it as there's some things you may not want to talk to the boss about, me. So go to someone who's a neutral party who can help you sort it out. So this week, for instance, we had a client who it was just a weird situation. They were being a little bit rude. We couldn't figure out why. And so it was really great to have Emma talk to the account manager and have her sort through what that issue was from a completely neutral perspective. So I have a lot of emotions about it as well, right? So completely neutral perspective in a way that we can move forward with that client. So it's been a really great resource for us.
Oh, I love that. And that's exactly why we created office hours, is not only so that you can get support for issues that come up, but also to have someone who's not your boss and someone who's not in the weeds. And we realize that we do this a lot at DOT just with our team members. So if I'm working in an agency and something's not going well, I'm going to go to someone else on the team who's not in that agency at all. But we realized that not every account manager gets that opportunity. So we were like, well, let's give it to them. And I love hearing that you're using it for that purpose. So that's amazing.
And even to have this really awesome resource of Emma, right, who works with a ton of different agencies and has this really great background. So the problems might be the same or something similar, and her having this really effective solution that has been proven to work. And she knows how to solve those just from living in all these other agencies as well. Of course, she's a great resource. And that office hours is the hidden gem of CAM School for sure, CAM Collective.
So I want to hear what's next for your agency. What are you working on? What's exciting you? I want to hear all about it.
Yes. So because we are an organic social media agency, meaning we don't really focus a lot on paid, we do have some paid, but it's mostly content creation and really showing up on social media. So, and we do manage all of the major platforms. So in the next couple of years, we want to make sure that we're staying ahead of the curve with some of these updates. I mentioned earlier that we layered on TikTok this year as part of our service offerings. And I want to do more things like that for our clients and just be able to do them faster, because social media changes so much. So that's kind of what's next for us, is to make sure we're staying on the cutting edge of what's happening in the social media world, and then expanding the team. I know I'll need a strategist. I know I'll need an operations person eventually, either promoting within my own team or hiring outside of the team. I know that that's the next step for getting me out of the weeds of all of the day-to-day aspects.
That's the goal, right? Agency owners, we just want to be, the dream is to be on a beach someday, but we all know that that's not always the case. But it's so cool to just kind of see how agencies evolve and create new jobs out of what's needed. And like you said, to keep up with the times and keep, recreating for your clients, which is awesome.
And I can imagine the beach dream is a little bit closer when you have a really awesome team working under you.
Yes, I love that. And my whole thing is I want to have a family one day. So it's just my husband and I. We don't have any kids. I can't imagine working the amount that I am now and like adding kids into the mix. So I feel like that's the next step for me, is being able to still manage and run this business, but also start a family.
Yeah, I love that.
That is work-life balance in a nutshell, right? There you
Yes,
go.
exactly.
Yes, I love it. So where can people find you if they're looking for help with amazing social media strategy? Tell us where we can plug you and find you.
Yes. I'm Online Drea. So it's onlinedrea.com, and then Online Drea on all the social channels. I'm everywhere. I also have a podcast. It's called the Savvy Social Podcast. So if you like listening to this, head on over to Savvy Social Podcast. We talk about all things social media, strategy. I actually just had my client account managers. We did a roundtable interview with them about how we approach our client work. So that episode may be very interesting to those of you listening.
I'm definitely going to listen in.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and everyone go check out the podcast and onlinedrea.com and see what they're up to.
Cheers to happy clients.